Hello everyone, welcome back to the course of Software Architecture and Design Patterns. This video is brought to you by Newton's Group of Institutions in association with Redefined Solutions. This is Arvind Egiretti from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, and in this video we discuss about analyzing architectures. So in this, the first part we discuss about architecture evaluation. Software architecture have high cost for change, which are complex and erode during the evaluation. We believe these problems are partially due to the knowledge vaporization. Currently, almost all the knowledge and information about the design decisions and the architecture is based on an implicity embedded in the architecture, but lack a first-class representation. So consequently, knowledge about these design decisions disappears into the architecture, which leads to the problems. In this video, a new perspective on software architecture is presented, which views software architecture as a composition of a set of explicit design decisions. This perspective makes the architectural design decisions an explicit part of the software architecture. Consequently, knowledge vaporization is reduced, thereby improving some of the fundamental problems of the software architecture. Now coming to architecture evaluation. Architecture evaluation has come to provide relatively a low cost risk mitigation capability. Making sure that the architecture is the right one simply makes good sense. An architecture evaluation should be a standard part of every architecture-based development methodology. Evaluation can also be used to choose between two competing architectures. By evaluating both and seeing which one fares better against the criteria for the goodness, and evaluations can be planned and unplanned. So here, a planned evaluation is considered a normal part of the project development cycle. It is scheduled well in advance, built into the project work plans and budget, and follow-up is expected here. An unplanned evaluation is unexpected, and usually if the result of the project is in the serious trouble and taking extra measures to try the salvage of previous effort. So here the planned evaluation is ideally considered as an asset to the project, at worst a distraction from it. So planned evaluations are proactive and team building. Whereas in an unplanned evaluation, which is more of an ordeal of the project members, consuming extra project resource and times in the schedule from the project which is already struggling with both. So here unplanned evaluations are reactive and tend to be tension filled. So an evaluation team leader must take care not to let the activities develop into fingers pointing. A successful evaluation will have the following properties. So here, the first property is clearly articulated goals and requirements for the architecture. So here, the architecture is only suitable or not in the presence of specific quality attributes need to be identified. And one that delivers breathtaking performance may be totally wrong for the applications that needs modifiability. Controlled scope. So in order to focus the evaluation, a small number of explicit goals should be enumerated, and this number should be kept to a minimum, somewhere around 3 to 5. And the third property is cost effectiveness. Here, evaluation sponsors should make sure that the benefits of the evaluation are likely to exceed the cost. So the type of the evaluation we describe are suitable for the medium and large scale projects but may not be cost effective for small projects. Key personnel availability, which is our fifth property. So it is imperative to secure the time of the architect, or at least some who speak authoritatively about the system's architecture and design. So this person or these persons primarily should be able to communicate the facts of the architecture quickly and clearly, as well as the motivation behind the architecture decisions. The next property is component evaluation team. So ideally, software architecture evaluation teams are separate entities within a corporation and must be perceived as impartial, objective, and respected. So the team must be seen as being composed of people appropriate to carry out the evaluation, so that the project personnel will not regret to evaluate as waste of time, and so that it continuously will carry weight. And the last property is managed expectations, which are critical to evaluation success, which is clear, mutual understanding of the expectations of the organization sponsoring it, and the evaluation should be clear about what is the goal, what will the what will it produce, what areas it will or will not investigate, how much time and resource it will take from the project, and to whom the result will be delivered. That's all for now. Thank you all for watching the video. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for the latest notifications.